Chat, how are we doing today? It has been a while. There's also like nobody watching right now, so I'm going to stay on this screen for a little bit. Wait until we get a few more people in. Alright. Alright, let's switch over. Or no. No, I'll give it a little more. I'll give it until like 3 minutes from now. See if we get any other people in. We have a whopping third viewer. Everyone who's watching, welcome to the stream. Hey, can I get the chat's opinion? How do we feel about the starting soon screen? Because I put way too much effort into this. Quick Gaming, thank you, Fusion. Fusion, my friend. I've also received a Discord notification, which I should probably mute. There we go. Alright, I think... and I cooked with it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Alright. I think we're good to head over. We've got a few viewers in here. Let's get things properly going. So, hello, chat. So, for the uninitiated, if you didn't read the title or the thumbnail of this stream, basically what we're doing today is we're gonna be remaking the very first song that I ever uploaded onto this channel, because it's pretty old. It's from, like, how long ago? 2 years ago, almost? And I've improved my skills a lot since then, so I want to see if I can make it a little bit better. Especially with, like I've said, my newfound skills. Whatever. Let's just move over to... where is it? Right here. Let's move over to the main screen, where we have... this is the old version of the original version of the track. It is a... if you couldn't tell by the thumbnail, it is a Sans Undertale battle theme for... like a concept battle theme for a pacifist route fight, which doesn't happen in the actual game. Now, there's been a lot of interpretations of this. This one is mine in particular. So we're going to take a listen through of this, and then we're going to hop into a blank project, and we are going to try and make it a little bit better. So let's give this a quick listen and we'll see how we think. I'm going to want to see some feedback from the chat as well, from the viewers. See if there's anything that you guys think we can improve upon with this song. Just listening to the song now, there's definitely a few things that I feel like I can improve. The mixing is a little eh. It is lacking a lot of the mid-tones. If I can pull up an EQ quickly so we can see. There's a lot of these like high tones, but over here, especially in the low to mid range, it is very weak. There's also a lot of these unnecessary frequencies up here, or over here, and up here as well, which I'm also planning on improving. How long did you say you made it? 2 years ago? Around 2 years ago. I uploaded this, I think, in March of 2023, and I had been like working on it like for about a week, 2 weeks beforehand. So around 1.5 to 2 years ago was when I made this. And so we're going to try and remake it with better mixing, better composition, better instrumentals, just overall improve the track and potentially upload to the channel as well. So what I'm going to do is open up a new instance of FL Studio. Let me switch over my window capture to the correct one, which is not showing up for some reason. Okay. I love it when OBS does exactly what I want it to. Let me just... And then there we go. Okay. Now we are cooking. All right. So I have a separate window open, and I still have the old project file, so we can move stuff over from that. So let me open up a notepad in here, and we'll go over the main things I want to improve, which is over here, Fruity Notebook. So improvements that we want to make. First of all, I want to improve the mixing. Because I've gotten a lot better at mixing over the past year or two. So yeah, mixing. I want to improve the instruments that are used. I want to more so replicate the style that Toby Fox uses for his music, for obvious reasons. I mean, it's a song for a game that Toby Fox did the music for, so makes sense to try and replicate the style. And I want to add a little more to it. I want to make it longer. I want to change up the structure and the composition a little bit, because it is a like relatively short song. It's only like a minute long. So those are the three main things I want to improve with this. So let's see how we can improve this. So the BPM of the old version is at 111, so let's get it to around there. I'll just stick with 110. It's easier. It's a nicer number. And let's go. Okay. So, I just realized that you guys can't really see some of these menus because I have this looking just at FL Studio, not anything else. So, you can't see like the pop-up menus, but you can see like when I add stuff like this. Let's bring in a sound font player. Let's grab our good old friend, the SGM sound font. That's not the right sound. Hold on. I have it on the wrong thing. There we go. Now we have our sound. First thing I want to get going is the drum rhythm. So let's go over to our standard. We have some drums. I'm probably not going to use these drums for much. The main thing that I'm going to try and add is the cowbell and that little brush. The same kind of stuff that is in the original and in one of Sans' most notable themes in the game. So let's get this in 6th beats so we can get a bit of a swing rhythm. I know FL Studio has this built-in swing knob to give it like a bit more rhythm. So it'll go from this to like, oh, hold on. Instead of that. But the thing is, it only changes when the instrument starts playing and not when it stops. So it still plays for the exact same duration. So that means you can have like notes bleeding into other notes. So I prefer just to keep this at 0 and do the swing manually. Because that'll give us, there we go. That'll give us better results. Yep. All right. Let me add. Yeah, that's not going to do anything. Not going to bother switching that. All right. Get a little bit of volume control in there, make things sound a little nicer. I've never done a music production stream on YouTube before, so like let me know how this goes for everybody, how everybody's enjoying this. So I used to do music production streams on Kick because I used to stream on Kick. Then I stopped because nobody cares about Kick. So there we go. And then what I'm going to do is pitch this down. Yeah, that changes the sound. It goes from that to that. As it makes it sound a little more full. I'm going to work on the main body and like the kind of intro or the intro rhythm that we had before is going to be added later because I want to get the main portion of the song done first. So let's duplicate that a couple times. Let's get some more drums. I love drums. Let's get more SGM. Let's see what the jazz drums sound like. I know nothing about this kind of stuff. Hey, I don't blame you. I've been doing this for like almost 5-6 years now, I think, and I'm still learning new stuff. I'm still like technically a rookie. And let's go back over to this one. This A really cool. Don't worry about it. I make typos all the time. Believe me, some of the typos I've made are like awful. It doesn't help that my keyboard also does like double inputs. So I'll press like the 7 key and it'll input like 3 sevens. It's so annoying. Apparently there's not really much I can do to fix it either. I think it's a like just an issue with how the keyboard is built, which sucks, but we work with it. Got a nice rhythm going here. Oh, there we go. Now, I'm gonna stick with the regular hi-hats. There we go. Already, we're getting pretty groovy sound. I'm gonna actually duplicate this and I'm gonna separate the hi-hats from the cowbell and the brush so that we can mix these independently. Move these over to mixer tracks. Let's name this cowbell. Let's name this hi-hats. There we go. Those are now separated. Gonna turn down a little bit of the stereo width there because, like, some of those, especially the brushes, are panned really far to one ear, so you only really hear it on one side. So just to give it a little bit of body and close it in a little bit more, we're gonna do that. I'll do the same thing with the drums, and then what I'll do with the drums is add an EQ, because a lot of these frequencies here you don't want to hear, so we're going to cut those out. We only really want those really high frequencies. Let me turn up this. Just shelve that off a little bit. There we go. Add a little bit of reverb on this, just to give it a little more body. Turn that down. There we go. Subtle effect, but it adds a lot. There we go. All right, let's close out of this and let's give it... Or you know what? Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm not going to use this reverb. I'm going to use a different reverb. I'm going to use Fruity Reverb 1 because this is the one that Toby Fox uses a lot because it's easier. That's a trippy effect. Look at that. Turn down the decay. Like, this is what we're actually adding to the sound. We don't want all that, so we're gonna keep it a little bit lower. A little more low cut. There we go. Accuracy at its finest. All right, next, let's get some more drums. I'm conflicted on which drums I want to use. If I want to use the same ones from the original track, or if I want to switch to something like these drums, which usually don't really sound that much better. They usually don't sound great unless used properly. Or if I just want to use, say, some other digital drums that don't really sound as realistic, but still kind of feel kind of Toby Fox-y. I'll probably, you know what? I'll use these ones. Just because it's a little more accurate. Yep. And what did we have for the drum rhythm in the original one? We can still hear all that. Actually, a lot simpler. I'm gonna pitch these hi-hats down a little more. Yep. Yep. And now let's bring in... You know what? No, I am going to use these same drums. I am going to use the ones from before. Let's go to... Where is it? This is what we want. We got some very nice drums. If you don't recognize these drums, these are the same ones used in Megalovania and a few other Toby Fox soundtracks. So we're going to use these same ones as well. Which, do these drums have multi-tracking? Please tell me they do. They don't. Okay. That's going to make things a little more tedious, because then we have to have a lot of instances of this open. So let's just try and bring over the drum rhythm from this. Is that it? Yep. We got a nice rhythm there. I'm liking that. Well, of course I like it. It's the exact same as the one from the original version of the track. Now this is copied over a few times, and that switches to there. Yeah, all right. Right now I'm just going to have everything in one VST, and then we'll duplicate it and mix them all together. Mr. Jan Jin over here is very, very invested in these drums. We're going to cut out this last one, and... Did I use a different thing for... Yeah. I guess I did have a bunch of instances of this open before as well, because that's incredibly quiet compared to everything else. Crank the volume on this. welcome Amishu to the stream. I showed off the starting soon screen. Got a lot of positive responses about the art. Yeah. In the chat we have Amishi over here. Amishi is the person who did the art of my little character over here for the starting soon screen. I want to give a huge shout out to her. Her art's insane. She also does a lot of the art for the visualizers for my music. Massive shout out to her. Yeah, we got a nice rhythm going here. Sounds good. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, all right, we got something cool going here. It's missing a little bit. I think it's missing some of the cymbals. Yep, we have those. Yeah, and then there's the tom drums. All right, this is our little drum groove. Let's see how it sounds with the rest of it. I'm gonna change some of this up to cut out some of these. I'm liking this. This is really cool. All right. We got something cooking here. Yeah. And what was the tom drum sample that I used over here? It was from the Earthbound sound font, which I'm going to move that over to this. Yeah. And then it's, okay, C5, G4, D sharp 4. We have this. Nope, that. All right, that's our complete drum groove, I believe. Now let's route these to some mixer tracks and do a little bit of mixing on this. Very basic mixing right now. I don't want to get into like the super hardcore mixing stuff yet. Because that will come at a much later time when the track is more complete. Yep. Grab this, and then this as well. Bring that over to here. Actually gonna swap this out for SGM again. Get the SGM drums back in here. Just use this. Yeah, that looks pretty good and sounds pretty good as well. Let's move over to some very basic mixing on all this. want to cut out some of those resonant frequencies. I'm going to add a noise gate. You see all of that tail end right there. That's stuff I don't want. So I don't know what these knobs do. Oh, this is reverb. This is just more reverb. That's definitely not something we want. No, turn that down. What is this? Ah. Interesting. Okay. Kind of like that. All right. Let's move this up here. All right. This is subtle, but if you listen closely, you can hear it. This is without the noise gate on. And this is with. You hear how it just cuts out a little bit of that ending, that like tail end of it. Yeah, Labs doesn't seem to have the most options usually. That's the entire idea of the plugins I've found, of the Labs libraries. They're supposed to be super, super simple, which means like people don't get overwhelmed. It has all the essential stuff, and then everything else you can just add sort of externally, which is what we're doing right now. Speaking of that, let's put a little bit of EQ on this. This frequency here, you can kind of hear that. Let's just isolate this for a second. We don't want that. So let's cut some of that out. You can hear it a little bit. Yeah, exactly. It's the really subtle stuff with a lot of mixing. Just music in general. It's all the really subtle things that matter. You don't really like think about it a lot of the time, but when it comes to like professional mixing, like people will spend days just mixing tracks. Like I'll say for some of the Yggdrasil Records songs, I spent a long time trying to like this is a bit of a sneak peek for all of the two Yggdrasil Records fanatics that are currently just like engaged in everything right now. Some of the songs that I worked on for the Yggdrasil Records, I spent a long time mixing to get them right, especially with the like recorded samples. Like some of the stuff is MIDI in there, like all of this stuff, and then some of them is actually like live recorded instruments. I spent a long time trying to get some of those. But already this sounds much nicer for what we're trying to get. All right, let's do our cymbals. Or actually, let me name these quickly. We have our kick drum. We have our cymbals. This is main hi-hats. And I'll set this to accent hi-hats. Not, there we go. Accent hi-hats. Because these are the main ones that we want. And this is the snare. I love Undertale, yes. So we're going to do the same thing we did with the other hi-hats. Cut out a lot of the low frequencies that we don't want. I'm actually going to bring up some of these highs as well. Give it a little bit of an airier sound, so it's easy to hear. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Sorry about that. Anyway. Just a little bit of extra presence. And that sounds great with these other things. which I also have to do the cymbal mixing. These. And then the stereo on this as well. There we go. That sounds pretty good to me. Yeah. Now we have our little side stick snare, which I'm also going to put a noise gate on because that has some tail end as well that we don't want. Never mind. Let's maybe try Wave Shaper. It's off. It would be helpful if the plugin was on so I could hear it. That's very loud. We're not going to use Fruity Wave Shaper. That sounds kind of bad. Why is this so inconsistent? I actually don't really like that sound. How do you know what frequencies to get rid of? A lot of practice. It's a lot of practice for one, and two, there's a technique that I've learned called sweeping. So let's just get the raw sample again. We take one of these, and either we can bring it all the way up or all the way down. It helps to notch it a little more as well. We can hear specific frequencies, what's important in the sound and what isn't. And 9 times out of 10, the stuff that isn't really important for the sound, you can cut out. So, like right there, you could probably cut a little bit of that out. It doesn't really change the sound all that much. And that's what you want. You want subtle differences that kind of keep the main core of the sound, unless you're trying to do like sound design. But also just like make it sound better. Like especially with something like this. That frequency right there, that's going to clash a lot with the kick. So we're going to cut that out. Like if I left it in. Now I take it out. It's a little clearer now. But I am actually going to swap out this sound with a different one because I don't like it. What else can we use? SGM potentially? That's not bad. Never mind, that kind of sucks. We're not going to use that. What else can we use? You know what? Let's try labs again, and let's try taking a different approach. I like seeing your thought process. Yeah, there's a lot of like behind the scenes stuff that goes into music production, especially with stuff like this. So let's take a different approach, because there's different approaches to everything. Everyone has their own mixing style. Let's try putting a compressor on first. I just realized I deleted all of these, so I have to add them all back. And now let's compare this to the original. Also didn't have much to it. This is tough. It's not really sounding the way I want it to. Let's try this. Yep, and let's add some reverb on it. Potentially, this will make it sound good. I love your work. You really deserve more subscribers. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Hang on, I've got a EV Sepic. Thank you. I don't know if I pronounced that right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to try something. Add a little bit of bit crush on, let me try a different plugin on these hi-hats. EV is epic. Okay, my bad. All right. I think we've got our main drum groove. Maybe add a little bit of reverb onto the cymbals as well. A little bit of pre-delay, a little bit of this. There we go. I'm also going to add a little bit of pre-delay on these as well, because you can see kind of what the pre-delay does. Usually, unless you're in a very, very confined space, when you have like a reverberation of sound, like an echo of sound, it doesn't start right away because it has to take time to actually reflect off of stuff. So that's what this kind of pre-delay replicates. And it sounds a lot nicer with that. Add some onto this as well. There. All right, that's our main drum groove, I'd say. I'm happy with that as of now. Might change it later, but right now I'm happy with that. Let's get our bass in now, which in the original version, it was 2 bass sounds layered with each other. We have this, which is a Sega Genesis bass layered with the slap bass. So we're going to replicate that same thing over here. We're going to get the exact same slap bass that I used, which was in ye old SGM sound font. I believe it was this. Yeah. Let's assign that to a mixer track. I'm also going to want to mix the toms in a little bit as well for the drums, but I'll just bring in the score from the original version. And what I'm doing here, this is a really interesting thing. What I'm doing here is I'm pitching the slap bass up by around half, or let's just go flat out, half a semitone. So half a note. So it's not landing like precisely on like a G or G sharp or anything. It's like right in the middle. This adds a pretty cool effect to a lot of songs. And I don't really see it done all that much. But I know Toby Fox does it a lot, so. That's also. Do we want to change the key? I kind of like F. Let's stick with F. All right, now let's bring in the Genesis bass. I think this is the one I used. You got to remember to pitch this up as well. This is a cool thing you can do in FL Studio with a lot of plugins. There's this little knob here called Shift that will just subtly move the note a little bit forward, so it's like it plays a little bit delayed. So if you're layering sounds like this, you can get a less like conflicting sound. This one I'll focus on filling in more of these middle frequencies. Put a compressor on it as well. Not that much. There we go. We have the SGM sound font focusing on some of these frequencies here. I'm going to cut that out. In the main bass frequencies, we're also going to do a bit of a cut there. Cut out stuff below that where nobody's going to be hearing it. And this one focuses more on mid frequencies. Let me try putting a bit crusher on it. That's a nice little bit of texture. I'm actually a really big fan of that. Yeah, I think I used the wrong one. Yeah, I like that. Now, this is a cool trick that I don't think really a lot of FL Studio users really take advantage of. There's layers in FL Studio, literal like layers. And so what I can do is I can select both of these sounds and click Set Children. Now if I play anything on here, it plays both sounds at the exact same time. So I don't have to have multiple tracks playing the exact same sequence of notes. I can just have a layer set up and have it play only once, which is very useful when you're trying to compact things. There we go. We have our bass line too. Now in this part of the song, there's more than just the bass and the drums. If we mute all of that, you can hear there's still all of this stuff. So let's focus on getting these chords in right now. I think I have two of these layered. I have an organ and I have a synth. So let's focus on the organ first, which I'm gonna add in a moment. This is another instrument that was used in Megalovania for the chords. A bunch of other tracks as well, but there. And now we gotta pitch it half a note up. Let me try something. This is something that adds a nice little funk to it. I'm a fan of that. So it's on a mixer track. Just a little bit of funk to it. Sounds pretty good to me. Let's add a stereo enhancer on this. Adds a little bit of width to it. Very nice. I want to cut out more of these lows. Very nice. Let's also now bring in the pulse wave, which I'm going to take from, where is it? Aha. Magical 8-bit plugin. I love this plugin. It's kind of loud right now, but we can turn that down. And a little bit of attack. A little bit of release as well. There we go. Or actually, no. There are pitch bends in this, and this does not bend with pitch. So, I'm going to use this sound font, which I know has the same sound. There we go. Now what I'm going to try okay. Alright. This one's not going to have the pitch bends, but that's fine. I can add them in myself. Woo. I think. Yeah, never mind. That's not going to be easy, but I can certainly try it. Automating the arpeggio speed would be interesting. That would be pretty cool, actually. I actually might do that. Hold on. You've actually got a pretty good idea there. No, that doesn't work. Okay. I'm not going to bother trying to get the pitches to be correct. If you want pitch bend, you can try pitch shifter. Not the best pitch shifting VST, but it sounds decent if it's small stuff. That would work. I also could, like, just do it with an automation clip. I might actually just do that. Oops. And how low can this go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so let's set it to 8 because that's the usual. And create automation clip. There's our automation. My phone does not stop going off. It's starting to annoy me. Whoops. Delete that. Oops. Yep. And then here. Delete this. I didn't even hit 1K subs yet, imagine. Dude, why don't you... Mr. Hampter in my chat, how about you go look at your own channel? How about you go look at your own channel and then try talking to me? All right? That's one of my buddies. All right, let's try automating this as well then. Because this could be very cool. Things that we can do with this. All right, let's see how this sounds with everything else. That's pretty good, I think. I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit. All right. There we go. That's the chords implemented, so now it's just a couple more things. This is the stuff we still have to add. Let's add this piano. Bring in a sound font player. Let's bring in a Toho piano. Why not? Move this over. Good lord, not that. 50. Yep. Switch my scale to correct one. Now reverb time. Loving that. That's really nice. All right. I'm going to put a limiter on the master because don't want this clipping. Let's take this. I'm going to do a little trick. Let's do some side chaining with the bass. I'm going to side chain it to the kick. Lovely. Loving that. That's beautiful. All right. Next. Piano is implemented, which means basically the last thing to do is the melodies. Let's move these two tracks up top where the melodies are going to go. And there's two instruments that I've used for the melody. One of them is a clavichord. There we go. Route that to a mixer channel. And then I also want to bring over, where is it? Here it is. This, so that we can get, not that, where is it? Here. This right here, because this is our is the guitar that is used in a song that might play when you fight Sans on the actual Undertale soundtrack. Which, on the topic of that, I've been thinking about renaming this song, because this song, the original version, is called Song That Doesn't Play When You Fight Sans. Because, I mean, it doesn't. It's not in the soundtrack, it's not in the game. I'm thinking of renaming it to, like, just Song That Plays When You Fight Sans, because this is a conceptual battle theme, right? For a pacifist Sans fight. So it makes sense that this is the song that plays when you fight Sans. So I'm probably going to rename the track to that. But, yeah. Let's do this. Grab our thing. Let's go over to I need to make a new pattern. We're on the right instrument. Let's bring the score over into here. There we go. Are things frozen right now? Can you guys see what's going on, or I think my thing is kind of breaking. 1 second. Switch back over to this and then over to that. Or is this just not? Nope, it's definitely frozen. Okay, that's weird. All right. Let me try and fix that. Let's move over to here while I try and see what's going on there and why that's broken. Can't see anything in the piano roll. Yeah, that's the issue I'm trying to fix right now. The entire thing basically just froze. The entire showing of it. I'm gonna try and completely delete the source and then add it back. Window capture. And that's still broken. Why is that broken? Or is it broken? It's not broken. Okay. I may have fixed the thing. I believe I fixed the thing. Alright. Let me set this back. And put it there. And are we back? Everything's good? Is it working now? I think it's working now. Perfect. All right. Let's go back, grab the thing. And there we go. Alright, we're back. Everything's working. Let's edit some of these melodies. Want to change some of this up. There's a lot of clashing I've hearing now, which I'm going to change here. Ah. I'm going to bring in back some of these frequencies. Here we go. Want to EQ some of this out. Yeah, cuts out the release on that. Yeah. All right. That is that mostly done. Let's move over to this. Bring in. Oops. That's the, yep. So I'm noticing this part here is off key. I'm going to fix. There, and then we'll bring this up. I think this is pretty good. I like this. Genuinely. I wanna... Can I come by after stream to ask for feedback on something I'm working on? Want to perfect this project. Very good. Yeah, I will definitely take a look at that mix, MSG. Don't worry about it. You send me that after the stream, I'll go over it. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely not going to be able to get this entire thing done in one stream. I might do like a follow-up stream in like around a week potentially to finish this, or I might just do it off stream. But yeah, this isn't going to be entirely finished. is going with you? Oh, I did not copy over these. If you stream again, I will lurk once more. You go ahead and do that, Fishy. Yeah, but I wanted to more so try and capture the, like, kind of aloof personality of Sans. Or at least what he puts out on the surface. Like, just cracking jokes, just wanting to have a good time, not really taking this seriously. Which the original still kind of did. But I think this does a little more. Which is definitely what we wanted. Like, let's compare what we have so far to that same section in the original. This is the original. And then this is the remake so far. Definitely an improvement, I think. We need a little more mids, though. Sand Undertale, that is correct, M. Diskelly. It is, in fact, Sand Undertale. I like what you've done with the remake. Yes, very much an improvement. Glad to see you guys also agree that this is a improvement on the original piece. Speaking of that, let's continue to do that, which is this next section here. I don't really think there's much modification I need to make to this melody. I still really like it. Before I do that, I'm going to add this little section here of the saxophone. That is the, I believe, SGM baritone sax? Or baritone sax? I don't believe I said sax there. Please don't get me demonetized. Yep, that's what we want. Let's pitch this up like everything else. Yup. I'm avoiding using a lot of the techniques that I used, like that I use in most of my other tracks, which is, I could go off, but changing it up could be fun. Yeah, maybe I could add a little bit of a bass solo. That'd be fun. Yeah, I'm trying to avoid some of the like typical mixing techniques I use, which I use OTT a lot. And I'm trying to avoid using that because Toby Fox does not use it. Like, it makes this sound really good. Like, if I just add it here, like, adds a lot more to it. But I'm still trying to avoid using it. Let's bring in our reverb. Yeah, same. Yeah, I think ever since Saruki got into like OTT everything, I think ever since Saruki got into like the Friday Night Funkin' mainstream, like in terms of music composition, OTT kind of became a standard, and just everyone started using it. Which it works, but it's very overused. You can still get good sounding stuff even without it. Like, that sounds pretty good to me. Yeah. I'm trying to keep to Toby Fox's style right now. Saruki used OTT. Yeah, Saruki actually uses OTT quite a bit, I think. Either that or it was just like, I'm misinterpreting this because of like some... What is an OTT? OTT is a effect plugin. It is a multi-band compressor. So it basically splits a sound up into 3 different like sections, as the low sections, the mid sections, and the high sections, and compresses them and applies effects to them individually. So like without OTT, the sound sounds like this, and with, I can change this to make the effect more subtle, drag these knobs around to compress different things at other thresholds, change the volumes of each section. It's very similar to just a standard compressor, but a little more advanced. But you could still get stuff that sounds good without it. If you make music, you don't until you use OTT. Yeah. Yeah, I want to try and bring up some of these low frequencies. Namely, like, there. I'm gonna be honest, I don't use FL. This all sounds like and looks like black magic to me. Yeah, that's the main thing I see with a lot of people who don't really like FL Studio. One of their main arguments is that it just is like incredibly tough for beginners to get into. And yeah, it is. There's a lot going on here. There are other DAWs that are way simpler. But I've been using FL Studio since basically the beginning. I started out on LMMS, which is a free DAW. It's very similar to FL Studio. And then I switched into like the FL Studio trial, and I used exclusively the trial for like a solid year before I bit the bullet and bought the actual full thing. But I don't regret it one bit. Because I'm now making stuff like this. Like, FL Studio is very heavily made with, like, rap beat production in mind. But that doesn't mean you can't still make stuff like this. Because, for those in the chat who don't know, fun fact, the entire Undertale soundtrack was made using FL Studio. I used a version of Reason that allowed me only 8 instrument tracks. Going to FL was kind of the only move I could do. Yeah. Moving to FL Studio or like another DAW like Cubase or Ableton. I've played with Ableton in the past as well, because I took a like audio engineering course, and they used Ableton in that course. So I'm vaguely familiar with how that works as well. Really, every single DAW is based, like, uses the same core concepts. It's just the way that they implement them is slightly different with each one, especially with FL Studio, because it has this like pattern system that isn't really used a lot in other modern DAWs, at least. Yeah, every DAW is valid. You can make really cool things in any DAW that you want. It's just up to personal preference and what works for you. For me, it's FL Studio. Other people like Pro Tools, people like Ableton. It's all like a matter of taste of what you prefer. Like, people have made insanely good sounding songs in like FamiTracker, which is an incredibly rudimentary DAW because it's built for making like NES music, kind of like Ice Cream. Yeah, exactly. But you can still make like incredibly complex tracks with that. I mean, listen to the Shovel Knight soundtrack. Listen to any like mainstream content creator on YouTube that does like VRC6 covers or FamiTracker covers. It's just knowing the building blocks, what works, what doesn't, and using that to your advantage. Now I'll probably do this last section and end stream because we've been going for a while. Which I believe the sound I want is in this. Is it? It is. You guys like Crash Bandicoot? This is the same marimba used in Crash Bandicoot, the original one. We're gonna use it in our song. Yippee! Because Toby Fox has used the Proteus sound fonts in the past. Among Us, I mean, at the coarsest piano roll, no matter what DAW. Yeah, exactly. Oh, when you... And then... Like, so you hear that, MSG, and your mind goes to... Yeah. I think I'm gonna add like a couple like kind of trills with this. You know how sometimes you'll have pieces like on a marimba or a xylophone that will kind of have like this kind of thing. Thinking of adding that here. See how this sounds. Ooh, I actually really like that. This is what plays when I steal cookies from the cookie jar. I thought that was a xylophone. I was ready to make a... I think in the original version, this is a xylophone. It is, yeah. But I just really like the way that this marimba sounds. They're very similar instruments in general. Plus, I'm pretty sure Bone Truzzle uses this exact patch. Let's put a bit of delay on this. There we go. Subtle effects, but I like it. Now, in the original, we also have this layered with a square wave at the end, the second half. So, I'm going to add that in a second. Let me just finish adding these trills, because I really like these. I'm going to keep adding them. Oops. Yeah. Oops. There. Alright, square wave time. I'm just going to copy the exact same one over from this, because I don't really think it needs to be changed at all. Let's copy over the effect patch as well, which is literally just chorus. Add a little bit of envelope to this. Cut out these frequencies, because you saw that, right? All this stuff down here. We don't want any of this. That is going to muddy up our sound. There we go. Gotta pitch it. Forgot. Not 550 cents, just... What the heck? Oh. Oh, I still have that selected. Yeah, that what let me do that. Hang on, MSU, you got a good idea here. Let me set up a little thing. This is a trick that you can do to add like a little bit of vibrato, is using slide notes. Just make this little pattern here. You can just select these notes. This last one's the note it's going to end on, so let's do that. Scale this to the portion that you want it at, which is around here, and then extend these so they overlap to make the effect a little bit more subtle. You can hear it. There we go. All right, I would say I really like that. Hold on, I'm stretching. All right. It has been roughly 2 hours of streaming now, so I feel like we should maybe wrap this up quickly. So let's give, just for comparison's sake, let's give one listen to the original version and the current state of the new version. We'll listen to the same section. So we have this for the original version of the song. You guys can't see anything because this is just like on a separate tab. The song that sometimes plays when you encounter sands. Now we have this, which is our beautiful new version of the song. I personally am a massive fan of this. Huge improvement. Yeah, I 100% agree. This is so much better than the original version. I'm never going to be able to listen to the old one normally anymore because now we have this. All right. Well, I think after all of that, after a 2-hour stream of music production, I would say that is a good place to wrap things up. I didn't know that this would really be happening with this screen. I may or may not have neglected that. Let me just hide that. There we go. But yeah, I think this is a massive improvement as opposed to the old version. We've got definitely something really cool here. And you know what? I think I will do like a follow-up stream next week. You went above and beyond. Thank you, sir. I'm definitely happy with how everything came out. So yeah, I will probably do a follow-up stream to finish the rest of this remake, or at least a little bit more of it. And yeah, I do want to do more streams too. So if you like, a bit unrelated but nice avatar. Thank you very much. Can't wait for the follow-up. I'm excited to do this. But yeah, I'll definitely do the follow-up stream. I also want to do more streams. So if anybody watching this has an idea for a stream, potentially, feel free to message me on Discord if you have my Discord, or just like, I guess, comment on the VOD for ideas for streams. Also want to give a huge shout out again to Amishi for the insane art on the starting soon screen. I genuinely don't think it would have been even half as good as it is without that art. So massive thank you to Amishi there. And I think that will be a good place to end stream for today. So for the people who stuck around, thank you very much for watching the stream, and I will be seeing you some other time. I'm sorry, yawning. But yeah. I'm always happy to do stuff. Thank you very much. Alright, yeah. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching the stream. I mean, if you're not subscribed already, please make sure to. We're very, very close to 1K. And yeah, I'll see you guys in most likely a week to finish up the song. Alright. Thank you, everybody.